everybody, welcome to our final episode of season 2 on Dayton Drama Queens.
I cannot believe we're here.
I
It's
know.
the finale.
It went really quick. Didn't you feel like that?
I think so,
And
yeah.
there's so many people this time around.
Absolutely. Everyone was so great. I learned so much
Dayton has
about
got it all.
Dayton and the people here. It's really, really great.
We have a very special guest with us. I know a lot of you drive by this place every day, the Roger Glass, and they're all like, this theater is incredible. It's incredible. Well, we brought the incredibleness to our podcast today. This is Toby Rush from the University of Dayton. He's going to give us all kinds of information about that, his life, so on and so forth. Welcome to Dayton Drama Queens.
Fantastic to be here. I'm really excited to be
good,
here.
good,
Thanks for joining us.
Our first question we always ask, how did you end up in Dayton? Are you from here? What's the story?
Right. I am not. I actually grew up in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Oh,
so
wow. There's a new one.
I had a friend who was an extra in Oppenheimer and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up there and did all my schooling in Colorado, actually.
Oh, okay.
And was there as an adjunct faculty member for I don't know how many years while I was finishing up my degrees, and then just started applying for gigs. And Dayton called me back, and I turned to my wife and I said, "So you want to move to Ohio?" She's like, "Do I have a choice?" But we moved here and fell in love. It is just such an amazing place, and I never want to leave.
Yes,
it's
a
just
great community.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Built around the arts.
It really is,
Yes.
and that's when I talk to people at other institutions, other professors, it's so obvious how fortunate we are to be in such an amazing art scene.
For
It's
sure.
just incredible.
So true. So what do you do at the university?
So
what is your position?
Yeah, I am actually, I've been there since 2011, and I'm actually a professor of music theory.
Okay.
And which is, kind of my first love. I love teaching all about scales and chords and that sort of thing. But a couple years back, it was kind of my turn to step up and be the chair of the music department at UD.
Yeah. Which is an undertaking.
It is an undertaking.
Yes.
But again, it is a fantastic faculty.
Yes.
And I've talked with other department chairs at other places who are miserable and, like dealing with all the drama and that kind of thing. And our faculty is just incredible. Our faculty is amazing. And just this past year, as we had a little bit of shuffling around with staff positions, I've kind of become more over music and theater. And I was a theater kid in high school. I was a techie. I loved stage crew and that sort of thing. I did a little bit in college. I was Tiger Brown and Three Penny Opera.
Yay.
But other than that, I really haven't been in theater for a while. So frankly, I am stoked to be back. I am absolutely loving it.
Especially that tech piece.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, that's things that, there's a lot of us that think we're actors on the stage, but not many of us think we're the tech piece.
Yeah,
So
and I'm definitely not an actor. So it's just so fun.
Yes,
I really miss it, so I'm really excited to be back.
And if people really knew what went on behind the scenes to make those things look easy, it's all of the work that's going on.
Gosh. Yeah, and some of the people that I went to high school with who are like in New York and doing, Broadway shows and the set designs that we did in high school, I think we did like a 12th night or something like that. And I didn't realize it then, but looking back, I was like, that was incredible stuff that we were doing.
I feel the same way. I think back, Adam Koch, he's a Dayton guy, Oakwood guy.
He him on this show as well.
My senior year, he's designing on Broadway now. It's crazy. We were lucky, I suppose.
I know. Yes, that's it.
That is incredible. It's true.
So did you start playing instruments? How did you get into music to start?
So I from what I was told, we went to see Star Wars in 1977 as a family when I was 3 years old. And apparently I came back and was plunking out the theme on the piano.
Oh, wow.
So my mom was like, we need to get that kids and get piano lessons. So I started doing piano and just always loved it. And once I was in high school, I started doing more composition. So when it was time to go to college, I was like, well, I kind of want to go into this. And I actually got my undergraduate degree in music education, to be a high school band director, that sort of thing. As part of that program, you do a student teaching semester where you go and just kind of intern at a school. And it was a really incredibly valuable experience. Like I really enjoyed it, learned a ton, worked with some amazing teachers, gained a huge appreciation for it, and then realized I didn't really want to teach in high school. It wasn't a bad thing. It was just like, you gain so
Thank
much
God
respect.
you knew then.
That's right. And so I said, well, I guess
Right.
I'll go to grad school, and I got a TA teaching theory. I was like, oh, this is
Found
what I
your
want to
place.
do. Yeah, this is
Yes.
what I love. So.
Yes. How big is Dayton's music department? Is it fairly large?
It's actually not huge.
okay.
We have about 60 majors, and so counting theater majors, like 70.
Okay.
Okay. And so it's not a gigantic program. We don't have a graduate program in music. But that's not always a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
I think the opposite. Actually.
Yeah, it
I
really is.
do.
And my undergraduate was a small program like that, and I had opportunities that I wouldn't have had at a large
Right.
school.
Exactly right.
So
Yeah.
it's just the right size for us. I
Yes.
think that doesn't, like, small program also doesn't mean like low quality. Like our faculty, we've got incredible faculty who are like, Carnegie Hall level stuff.
Wow.
That I think that, I don't know if it's like a best kept secret or anything like that, but we have some great things, and we have a fantastic new facility that what
Right.
other
Yeah,
programs
talk
could do
about
that.
Yeah, speaking of,
I'll get going. How did you get involved?
That's
What is
right.
your piece of the puzzle?
So yeah, I being the person who kind of stepped in as chair in the last couple of years, I kind of got to cut the ribbon without having to do a lot of the
Wow,
work.
yeah.
The people who really were instrumental, no pun intended, with our program.
Ba-dum-bum.
Sharon Grotto, like she really made this happen, and then Julia Randall, who is my predecessor as chair, they really put in a lot of the work to make it happen, and I kind of got a lot of the glory. But and that includes also other people at the university. So Daniel Poe, our dean of College of Arts and Sciences, and the many people in the arts community that really sort of rallied around to make this happen. DCDC, and of course Roger Glass himself and his husband. Like, it was just so much goodwill that kind of brought this into action.
Yeah.
And so we're, of course, just in love with the place.
Yes.
It's just amazing, and we're still kind of
What all is in it? We know. I mean, I've been. I was there for a gallery talk I told you about.
Right.
And there's plenty in that space.
There's a lot. So we have a concert hall that seats about 400.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
And acoustically responsive. It's got like mechanics behind the walls to like deaden the space or liven it just with the push of a button. We can just kind of set the setting for wind ensemble or chamber group or whatever.
Amazing.
We have a black box theater that seats around 250, I think. And that's just an amazingly flexible space.
Yeah.
There is an art gallery, a beautiful art gallery, large, like when you're driving down Main Street and it's lit up at night. It's just wonderful.
It looks so cosmopolitan.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah.
The glass, like the glass center.
in the glass.
There's so much glass.
Yes.
And then we have this whole media suite, so Flyer Media. So it's our TV station, our radio station, our podcast studio, our news. And these are like things that have just been scattered around, like basements in different places around the campus, and having them all together already is just engendering like so much collaboration, and we're really kind of in the early stages of exploring a lot of this, but it's just blossoming.
Love it.
You can feel the energy. I mean, when we toured, the first thing we all said, there's just a buzz in there. I mean, you go and you look at the television studio, and then you go in the concert hall. Everything just feels new and exciting and buzzy.
Absolutely.
And I just can't wait to see more things there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What happens to the older theater on UD's campus?
Well, we haven't.
I know people ask that.
Yeah, no, we haven't forgotten about it.
Right,
So
right.
we have a few different performance spaces on campus. We have
Yeah.
Sears Recital Hall, which is a smaller venue works well for chamber groups and that kind of thing. And we have the old Stalwart Bowl Theater, which is
Bowl
a
Theater,
proscenium
yeah.
theater in the student center. Literally just the past month or so, we've kind of gotten things organized to make sure that that continues as a
good.
viable performance space. It is an old building.
Yes.
I would love to say that we're just flush in higher ed with just cash rolling in. So it may be a little while, but it's being cared for and
Good.
and used, because it's as wonderful as the concert hall is, it's not a proscenium stage,
Right.
and so there's certain shows that really need a proscenium stage, and so I think it was just really important that we made sure that like Bowl didn't get left behind.
That's a good
And ideally, over the next several years, we can really give it a good refresh and bring it up to more modern standards. But even as it is, it's still a great space.
And I know I see things happening because I read that Macbeth was just recently at the class.
Yes.
Everyone loved that version of Macbeth. Yes.
Oh, it was fantastic.
I saw it down at the Levitt, and I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just
I was there
quick
closing
and-
night, and
Yeah, it
just Andrew, who I know was a
Yes.
guest.
yes.
Just amazing work, and it's proof that good actors don't need like
Right.
expansive sets and costumes.
Figure
it was
it
just
out, yeah.
so I don't know, it just hits you hard.
And the Gay Men's Chorus
Yes,
was just there as well.
Yes,
So you
yes.
can kind of feel the community piece. Talk a little bit about that. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people think it's a UD facility.
Right.
It's more than that.
It is so much more than that.
Yeah.
And by design. And really Roger wanted it to be this way.
Yes.
And I'm bound and determined to make sure, all of us are, to make sure that
Right.
that is seen through. I think that, we talk about the glass, the building actually has these giant glass windows, and I think the architecture was intentional, and the placement of the building. The idea was that the university can look through and see the community, and the community can look through and see the university.
I think there it is.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. That's awesome.
And that is exactly what this is all about.
Okay.
Everything we're doing there is meant to be embracing and inviting the larger arts community.
Yeah.
And we're making that happen in a lot of different ways. So Andrew Metakides, who did Macbeth, we're actually kind of entering into a partnership with Gem City Groundlings, his Shakespeare
Oh, that's
troupe,
awesome.
where he's going to be teaching some classes. We're actually planning to do Much Ado About Nothing in the fall, and he's going to help direct that.
Great,
Yeah, that's great.
And so DCDC, who was there at the groundbreaking, we're really looking forward to really enriching that partnership and deepening that.
That's great.
With Theater Lab and
Yes.
other groups in the area. It's really kind of a standard that we're holding ourselves to, that this is not just a building for us. Now, it is a building for us, and our students, it's so important for our students to have a facility to call their own.
Yeah.
We haven't had that for some of our larger groups like the orchestra and the wind ensemble. They've been performing in the ballroom at the student center or at local
okay.
churches, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is great. We try to get into the Schuster every now and then, but that's a pretty pricey place to get.
Yeah.
And so having your own house, having the place where not only we have access to it, but like we get to know it and really get to be able to push it to its potential is important. But with that, we want to make sure that we are living up to the promise that Roger, endowed it with.
Yes.
And that is not a bad thing. It really strengthens us.
Sure.
I think that
Sure.
one of the things that I brag about with UD to other people from other institutions is that we don't really have the traditional town and gown kind of tension. Like we feel like we're part of the community,
Yeah.
or as much we want to be part of that community, and I think that we're learning even more how to reach out.
Yeah.
And this is just the perfect opportunity for it.
It really is.
Our administration there's a lot of schools out there where the administration does not support the arts in
Right.
the way that ours, that building is a testament to how much support that we have. Not only that they built it, but they put it on the front porch of the university.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Which is
right out
incredible.
front. Yeah.
It
And-
really is incredible.
yeah, and the development that's going to be going on at the old fairgrounds area, that's kind of across the street, that's building. Like I think it's going
It's
to
happening.
revitalize
It's
that
happening.
They're part of UD as well.
It's not. Well, it's part of a partnership. UD purchased. I think you might have to fact check me on this, but
It's okay.
that area was purchased originally. UD and I think Premier Health purchased it, and somehow I think Premier isn't as involved anymore.
Okay.
But it is. Again, I don't know the details, but there is a UD element to that.
Gotcha.
But just the fact that it's being
It's going to be
developed,
some sort of
that's-
expanse, some sort of
it's gonna
betterment
be a
for
great
that area.
It's
It
happening.
does feel. I love
Yeah.
that whole area kind of feels like a university village now.
Right,
You know?
exactly,
I mean, even when I was a
exactly.
kid, and I know when you were younger. You know, Brown Street was.
Yep.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you weren't
I'm
really-
scared.
It wasn't a destination.
right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I briefly worked at the Square One on Brown Street, and I remember even working there, they wanted us to say, you know, at the university, because people had a
Yeah.
They
feeling
still
when you
do.
said
That Brown Street
totally get it.
name.
Yep.
Brown Street,
Yep,
and
yep,
you
yep.
know, it's so nice to not feel like that.
That's right. We're kind of turning it around. a bit,
Yeah.
so,
Which is
yeah,
great.
It's exciting.
And those fields, the soccer fields, everything there, it is starting to feel like we're
It really is.
big
Yeah.
university doing
yeah.
big things,
You know, and
which is
when
great.
we're in Fitz Hall, which is the big 6-story building, used to be the NCR building there, and we used to be over closer to Central Campus. When we first moved out to Fitz Hall in 2013, it kind of felt like, oh, we're like way out on the edge of the university, and like the university's kind of following
Moving
us
its way
over
over.
there. So it feels kind of nice.
And I recently read that UD was not going to have as many students as it usually
Right,
does, which
right.
again, I think is a good thing. It gets it back to that
Yes.
homier, more attention
Yes.
to kind of feeling, which is going to be so good.
That's it. We're there all over in academia. There's
Sure.
a little bit of circling the
Yes.
wagons, but we've got a great spirit. Like I
Yes.
joke with my faculty. This is such a a chair kind of thing to say. It's like budgets are tough, but we've got so much more than that, and
Yes.
we really really do. Like the
Yes.
facilities, the faculty, the students.
And there is a great, if you are a flyer,
Yeah.
there is a great love.
Oh, my
of
gosh.
being, in that,
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
in that university, which
And
is awesome.
yeah, and I say we have 60 students in the music department. That's like students majoring in music.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have thousands of people in the music department because so many people are involved in our ensembles, our theater productions, even if they're majoring in engineering or
Yeah.
something like that. So it really is a great community. Yeah.
So, what are some things that are that are going to be coming up in? I know we don't
Right.
do dated things, but some things we could look forward to maybe.
I think with the staff changes that we've had recently
Yes.
with our theater program, there is so much excitement and just, I don't know, buzz
Yeah.
for kind of embracing a little bit more, some more crowd pleasers. So like I said,
Good.
we're bringing Shakespeare back in the
Yes,
fall.
yes.
We're going to do Putnam County Spelling Bee in the
Oh,
spring.
we were just talking
I
about that with
know.
our
Yeah.
last guest.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody loves
So
that show.
That's it. And as these are because the students love them, and
Yes.
it gets people in the seats and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's always a place for more avant-garde kind of esoteric stuff, and we'll keep doing that. We're still a university. We still want to
Sure.
push the
Push
envelope.
the envelope, right?
But we also have these great places, and we just want to do some wonderful stuff. So that's really what we're looking forward to in the next little while.
yeah, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, being a music teacher and
Yeah.
seeing that, I've always wondered this: as things change musically, do you change, or do you feel like?
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely, I do, and I think, this gets really in the weeds, but music. I teach music theory, which
Yes.
traditionally music.
and you're
theory,
still in the classroom teaching.
I am,
theory.
yeah.
Okay.
Even as a
doing it.
chair, they
Okay.
said I didn't have to teach, but that's kind of my passion.
Yeah,
and my
absolutely.
Right,
area.
that's
So
where
it's like,
you found your
I,
place. Yeah.
and plus that's the one thing that I really I know how to do well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we talk about music theory, so often it's like, writing chorales like Bach and that kind of thing, and there's still a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I joke about the old dead white German guys.
Yes.
There's a time and a place for that too, but there's so much more diversity in music that I think the standard traditional music education has been slow to catch up with. So I'm personally my own kind of passion projects when I have time and I'm not doing department chair stuff. I'm working on a new theory textbook and that kind of thing that really fully embraces a much wider variety of music.
And your students will appreciate that.
Yeah,
They
well,
really will.
and it's vital for them because if you graduate and you know how to avoid parallel fifths in a 4-part chorale, that's great. But if you can't plug in an amplifier and apply a filter, that's going to be a tough go.
Yeah, true.
And so I think the 21st century music student really has a different set of skills that they need to be prepared for. And I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Well, they got the right teacher.
Well, thanks.
Absolutely. Am I right?
Yeah. Do you ever have people ask, they find out you teach theory and they may not know anything about music? Do you have like a short elevator pitch of this is what music theory is?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I would say music theory is about what makes music tick. Why does music make us feel the way it does? And that kind of plays into what I was talking about before because, there's a snooty attitude among older not necessarily older, some musicians that's oh, well, this pop stuff, that's not really worthy of study. But in my mind, if music moves you in any way, regardless of what the style or format is, that means there's something worth studying. I want to figure out why it does that. And that's what music theory is.
I love that. That's a perfect
perfect ending
bow
of the
on our
Yes.
So if you haven't gone to the Roger Glass Center, you make sure you go check out a concert, a play, a musical, whatever it is, and anything else on UD, and keep supporting the programming and the kids. I'm really excited to get back
I
out
am
there.
too. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much. What a great season we've had.
Yes.
Season 3 looks even more exciting and more exciting and whatever.
See you on the road.
We'll see you on the road as we take this show out this summer. We'll probably see you at things like Oktoberfest in September. We'll see you
Anywhere where there's a
Neon
food truck.
movies. We're going to see all food truck.
If there's a food truck, I'll be there.
We will be there. We totally need to thank Tyler and Mitosis.
Yes, thank you,
All
Tyler.
their work on this is just incredible. And of course, Square One, who's been our major sponsor. Toby, thank you for being here.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having me.
It's been so much fun. We'll see you guys all later. Thank you for your
See you
support.
next time.
Bye-bye.